PHP, we've had a lot of great update videos, many of them, but there's not a single update video ever where every single measurable category we have in PHP, every record's been broken. When I tell you every, I mean every. Listen, February we did 2,999 recruits, one short of a 3,000 recruiting month, right? This month we did 3,403. We did 3,742 policies this month. Leaders don't even know about this. 3,742 policies. We're 1,260 away from 5,000. We're 6,200 away from 10,000 policies in a single month. 327 people got licensed this month. Record-breaking month ever. We shattered our quarter in licensing. We shattered our quarter in annuities. We shattered our annuity month app count this month, dollar amount this month, the number of new people getting checks this month, the number of different associates getting a single recruit this month. Ready? 1,452 different associates got a direct in the month of March. This is all happening right now. You know what's crazy? We have 2 more years to get equity. This year's 1 year, and next year's the last year. And if I were you, I keep trying to encourage everybody to realize the importance of urgency. There's never been a time more important than today to be urgent like you've never before, with RIs, with guests at BOMs, with personal recruiting, with field training appointments, with activity, where you're not wasting time being on newsfeed and checking to see what everybody else is doing. Rather being intentional when you're on Facebook, when you're on Instagram, when you're on the phones, when you're sitting down, when you're watching the videos on the back office on who's doing the best fast start, who's doing the best RI, who's doing this, what's the hustle presentation, let me get better. There's never ever been a time more important than today to be efficient. Let me explain something to you. Last year, I want to say 1.5 years, on a Dream Team call, I said, in the next 18 months, things are going to get very uncomfortable. Why? Because separation is going to start taking place. Let me explain to you what I mean by separation. People are going to put up numbers that we've never seen before. Let me give you some data. This month, PHP, we are the only company in the entire marketplace that had 2 base shops do over 200 recruits. We're the only ones. Out of all the companies, we're the only one that 2 base shops did over 200 recruits. Vargas and Gaitan. Gaitan broke the record for biggest recruiting month ever in the history of the company. TGA base shop, you guys shattered the record. 17 recruits, 211 recruits. They broke Vargas's record. You know who did the most recruits within that 211? Let me give you some data here. If you go on the Leaders Bulletin right now, you pull up top directors recruiting. Number 1, Jose Patino, out of Gaitan's base shop, did 102 recruits last month as a non-MD. All the non-MDs out there that you're watching this, 102 recruits. Let me explain to you what this means to the entire company. The first time I had somebody in my base shop do 10, 6 months later, 20 people did 10 recruits in a month. The first time we had somebody do 25 recruits, 20 people did 25 recruits 6 months later. The first time as a company we did 50, a bunch of people did 50. The first time we had one person do 102 recruits as a non-MD in a month. You know what's about to happen next 6 months? See how many non-MDs are going to do 102 recruits or more in the next 6 months. By the way, Jose Patino broke the record. I think Betty Duran did 57. Freddie Flores did 40-something. Carlise Bell, also from TGA, did 100 recruits last month out of Quanine's base shop. 50 out of Inglewood, 50 out of Ohio. The types of numbers that are being put up right now, TGA, Gaitan, 849 recruits last month as a hierarchy. Record. So many records are being broken. And I just hope when you're watching this yourself, honestly, I'm talking to you right now, I hope you don't miss this thing. We had a guy that came here today and delivered food from the backside. They typically bring it from the front. This guy came from the back. Like, you know those Uber Eats guys? And the garage was open. My car's parked in the back, the Rolls Royce. He's coming in here. The guys are playing Tupac, okay, in here. And everybody's playing foosball. They're playing ping pong. The guy's like looking around, asking Mario, what do you guys do here? He says, why'd you come from the backside? He says, I'm so sorry, man, but forget about me coming. What's going on over here? Why are you guys listening to Tupac? Are you guys like, what do you guys? He says, we're an insurance company. Insurance company, how can I be a part of it? My kid's in the car. People cannot believe what company you and I are a part of. You and I. People cannot believe it. People cannot believe the types of money people are making like this. Leo, out of Minnesota, in a city with only 20,000 people, only been with the business with us for 5 months, almost made $20,000 this month, okay? Leo, we have so many people making money fast, and my encouragement to all of you, get urgent. I can't say this enough time. Urgency. While you're watching this right now, If you get up after you watch this video and go back to being business as usual, you're going to be passed up. I said something to a leader this morning. He knows who he is. I said, if you're on, you can compete with everybody. But I said, let me tell you the truth here. I said, you're so talented that you putting 50% effort, you can beat 90% of the people. But your 50% effort can't beat 100% of the people. Let me simplify that for you. Because Sapalos are going to work. Because Vargases are going to work. Because leaders who are coachable at the top, they're going to work. And people are going to get exploited. And it's happening today. The person who got the text, you know exactly who you are. I have a lot of respect for the guy. But there's no more winging today and just kind of giving big talk about, you know, who you are and what you did in the past. Today it doesn't work. You're going to get exploited today. So having said that, I'm going to get into the message. I got a lot of things to cover with you guys, and I'm going to try to do it very quickly because I got a lot of things. March Madness, oh my, biggest upset. We're going to see what happened over there. The matchups, Gaetan against Vargas, NIT matchup was insane. By the way, the NIT, what do you call it, a wild card? The first place was 3 different names, 20 points apart. It was the most ridiculous wild card matchup we've ever had. Dream Team, 12 people chosen. Havana, 9 people already qualified. Who leveled up twice? Great equalizer. Who leveled up once? I'm going to make 2 announcements in this video that you're going to say, did Pat just say that? I'm going to say, yes, that is what I just said. As crazy as March was, you're going to see why April's going to be insane. You're going to see why I trained the trainers. For some of you guys that are watching this, I'll just say this to you. By the way, I'm looking at some of the numbers. Jason's got 189. He says he's going to have 300 people there. And by the way, out of the 189, only 40-something are from Kahindi. Most of them are from other people outside of himself, outside of Kahindi. I like to see what Kahindi is going to be doing. I'm curious to know what the Phelps are going to be bringing. I'm so curious to know what TGA's presence is going to be there with Del Toro's and Vargas's and Pelayos and Sapalas and all of these guys, because today it's craziness with PHP today, right? I'm watching everybody. Everyone's telling me numbers. EIB, Jason said they're going to do 1,000 recruits this month. They're going to do $1 million this month in production because EIB had a terrible month last month compared to everybody else in the field. The video that went up to EIB, they had a good month, but not compared to everybody else in the company, right? They know it. They said they're going to do 1,000 recruits and 1 million points on that team. Jason's running for a chairman's council as a team. Then you have what do you call Michael Bryan, Russak, and Almaraz running for SMD. By the way, Almaraz has made a name for himself that he's already passed up Mike Bryan and Ali because he's about to become an SMD the way he's running. Some of the stuff you see he did, possibly running against Kahindi and maybe passing him up. And right now, Almaraz's base shop is bigger than Jason's base shop. So in the company right now, we have a couple legs that the downline does better than the upline. You have Vargas doing more than Pelayo with numbers. You have Del Toro that does sometimes more than Gaetan, although not right now. And then can you imagine if Almaraz passes Jason up in the base shop production? It's some craziness going on. And then Gaetan saying they're going to do 1,000 recruits, 1 million points. Pelayo saying they're going to do some crazy numbers. Sapalas, last month, they had 17 different MD-based shops with over 10 recruits. They're saying it's going to be insanity with them. And I'm just watching to see who's going to be the first board council member in PHP. Who's going to be the first person when in December we have all the insurance CEOs that are going to be there. Which one of you guys is going to come there and be the speaker in front of everybody to say, here's how I represent the field. Let me tell you 20 minutes what we do in the field, and you give a message yourself to everybody. You speaking to everybody, but in order to be a board council team, you need to do 3 million points in 90 days. 1,500 recruits, 1,500 apps, 1,500 licensed agents, and 3 million points and 20 direct MDs and a 50% role. I'm so curious to know who's going to be a board council member. So having said that, let me get through the updates. Last month's book of the month, The Principle. Principle by Ray Dalio. Everybody at the home office was required to read it. People are not reading it at the home office. You're required to study it or else you're fired. This was a clear expectation I gave to everybody. Now, we can't do that in the field, but this is home office because they get paid salary. So many leaders in the field have read it and said this is their Bible that they're going to be using for business. Book of the month for the month of April. I said greatest salesman in the world by Og Mandino, but I also want this. This is my number one for this month. You read greatest salesman in the world by Og Mandino, you can finish it in 30 minutes to an hour. This is the book of the month by Jeff Gitomer. It's called Little Red Book of Selling. This is why. Let me explain to you. Every month's book is intentional. April, this is the book because in May, when we get to train the trainers, everyone's ability in sales need to increase. He talks about 12 and a half sales principles for greatness. It's an insane book. Everybody's reading this book because personal production is going to go higher. Selling is going to get higher. I want to see base shops doing 3, 4, 500,000 points a month. I want to see a lot of people writing 40, 50, 60, 80,000 points per month. And that happens if we get better in sales. So those are the book of the month. Let me set those things aside. MDs. I told you we're having baseball cards come out, right? Now look at this. These baseball cards came, and they're sick. So you're going to see the cards. You have Vargas, Gaetan, Del Toro, Kehinde, Donna Joe, Sapalas, Pelayo, Jason, Cooper, Michael Bryant, Jamal. You see all these things. Look at this. Pimbers. They got a fancy pick. Mortis Alborz, if you didn't send a pick, you just get a PHP logo. All of these will be going out. And you know what's on the back? All your stats from the day you were into PHP till today. Your yearly stat every year for personal recruits, personal points, base recruits, base points, base licensing, super base recruits, super base points, super team recruits, super team points, and cash flow, meaning where you ranked in cash flow in the entire company that year. Every MD is going to get one of these sent to them. I actually think every MD is getting one of these at Train the Trainers. That's what's going to be handed to you. And you'll look at everyone's numbers and talk to them. This will be given to every MD. Business baseball cards, and we're going to do this every year. I can't wait. When I saw this, I can't wait for you guys to get these in your hands for the MDs and MDs. Remember, Train the Trainers, all MDs are required to be there, or else you don't qualify for Great Equalizer the entire year. So keep that part in mind. That's that side, right? I covered that. Recruiting goal for the month of April is going to be 4,000 recruits, 4,000 apps, both in the month of April. I think it's very doable right now with what we got going on. You got the calls coming up, the conference calls, SMD and up, which will be Friday at 10 a.m. Builder call will be Friday at 2 p.m. Monday will be our MD call. And then national call Monday night as well. All the times I'm giving you a Central Standard Time. Mario will send you guys some data as well about it. Let me give you some stats about Train the Trainers. We got only 401 tickets left for Train the Trainers, and it's going to sell out in no time. Currently, Graziani has the most people, then it's Michael Bryant, then Del Toro, then Ricky and Erica, then Ali Rasak, then Eatman, Sapalas, Vargas, Elvana, Jose Gaetan, and Janae Traylor. These numbers will change in no time. And this is all I can tell you, and I'm not going to say too many times. Whoever that gets the most people in Train the Trainers is going to dominate the next 7 months of the year. That's it, period. Here's why. Our annuity training right now is sick. Let me tell you, it's sick. Your guys are going to learn how to do annuities like never before. Sapalas are at a whole different level. They're teaching this year as $1 million earner. Last year, they taught as a $600,000 earner. This year, they're teaching as $1 million earner. Vargas is the way they're wired, the way they're doing their business. What they're going to be training on is going to be a whole different level than what you heard last year because their mindset is different. They recruited 460 people last month. Last year, they recruited 170. Do you know how much your mindset has changed? You're learning Vargas is at a whole different level. Gaetan said the reason why we did 211 recruits in our base shop is because Vargas has taught us about the captain system. You're going to learn from them. You're going to learn from Gaetan's at this level. What are they doing recruiting 211 people in a month in their hierarchy 849? Why is Pelayo having the last week of the month doing 88,000 points? What's going on with Pelayo to be doing the numbers that he's doing? Why are some of our leaders performing the way they are? You're also going to hear from some of the non-MDs. Non-MDs are listening to this. If you want to get speaking time in the month of April, any non-MD, if you do 50 recruits in the month of April, 50 recruits, you'll get stage time at Train the Trainers. We never do this, but if you're a non-MD, you do 50 recruits, you'll get stage time. It may be 2 minutes, it may be 3 minutes, but guess what? Everybody at Train the Trainers is going to know who you are. MDs, if you want to speak at Train the Trainers, 50 base recruits, 100,000 points. You do that, guaranteed slot speaking. Last but not least, MDs. Top 5 base shop with the most butts and seats, you're speaking at Train the Trainers. Let me put it to you this way. Train the Trainers is not big event. Train the Trainers is all role playing. If you've never been, we literally sit there and you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. MDs will be with me on the first night from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Base shop coordinators will be here from 3 to 4 o'clock. That night, MDs, the reports I'm pulling up, again, reports you've seen before, some reports you've never seen before. We're going to dissect because my goal is to produce the most ridiculous leaders in our company that don't just think like a salesperson, don't just think like a sales leader, don't just think like a business owner, but your wiring thinks like a CEO. Eatman said the other day, the thinking that we're being taught in the company is unbelievable. Pelayo said, Pat, you're teaching all of us how to become CEOs. Our guys are teaching things on Dream Team calls I've never heard before. I'm taking notes while Gaetan is speaking. I'm taking notes while Vargas is speaking. We have a whole different level of elevation right now with our leaders today. So Train the Trainers, I wouldn't miss it. So remember, if you qualified last month, congratulations. If you didn't, 5 recruits this month. still gets you qualified to go to the trainers. And if you did 25 recruits last month, you come into the after party. If you didn't, this is the last month to qualify for trainers after party at my house. Havana nights, music, cigar rolling, some surprises for you. The entire outfit's going to be, Mari, the outfit's going to be what? The entire, it's going to be Cuban outfits. You know, the whole white with the hat and the Cuba Vera. It's going to be sick, right? The party at my house, 15,000 square foot house, $7 million home, 4 stories. You know, we'll take the elevator to a private spot that Tikran's going to take some of the leaders to have stogies upstairs and drinks. But we're going to have a great time. Dancing, the big pool that's 3 times bigger than my last pool that I had. Let's just say we're going to have a ball at that after party. But you got to get 25 recruits. And for some of you guys, on that Friday night, we're going to wrap up Friday night at 6 o'clock. Let me tell you what I did. Anybody that stays on the Dream Team in the month of April, and you're in the top starting 5 of Dream Team, you will go to dinner with me on Friday night. We'll be picked up at a limo afterwards. We're going to dinner on Friday night, and we're going to the Wolfgang Puck restaurant at the top of Reunion Tower. If you can Google Reunion Tower, you'll see what it is. You have a whole 360-degree view of the entire city of Dallas. It's insane. We'll have dinner, and any non-MDs that do 50 recruits and 50,000 points this month, in the month of April, you're also joining us as well. Let me explain to you who's going to be at this dinner. It's myself, probably Vargas, Sapalas, or whoever the top 5 are going to be on Dream Team this month, which means you got to put up some top numbers to stay in the golf score a big month in the month of April. We'll go to dinner together on Friday night. And believe me, Friday night's the night you want to go to that dinner because entire conversation is going to be elevated. Then Saturday we'll have our morning session. Saturday afternoon is going to be toward the home office. And then Saturday night's the after party at the house. And we go from there. Remember, you're not flying in Tuesday. You're flying in Wednesday morning because you don't want to miss the Tuesday night BOM. That's Train the Trainers. Mario, let me also recognize the people that have already done their 25. If I don't call out your name, it's because your MDs didn't send the list on time. If you did hit it, make sure you tell your MD, send my email into the home office. Here's the names that we have. Guillermo Gonzalez, Alejandro Aguilar, Jorge and Catalina Almaraz, Isis Martinez, Pedro Cordio, Alonso Aguilar, Alvaro Astorga, Ana Maria and Victor, Enel and Javier Castro, Clark, Colmenares, Cecilia Gonzalez, Nealda Figueroa and Rafael Pazos, Edith Cortos, Giselle Sanchez, Hector and Erica Dana, Joe Candy and Ron Osborne, Stefano Ramonski, Corey Long, Joe Smith, Casey and Mario Perez, Samantha Chavez, Daisy Palayo, Gerardo Martinez, Moises Obespo, Ricky and Erica, Freddie Flores, Carla Sanchez, Kevin Lopez, Eduardo Hernandez, Rodrigo Garcia, Chris Gonzalez, Betty Duran, Jose Patino, Jose Isaac, Martinez, Gomez, Gustavo Lopez, Giovanna Nicholas Castillo, Kristen Vicenia, Brandon Bowman, Bianca Romero, Epocofico, and Tongo Putao. I promise you, if you keep performing, I will nail that name if you keep doing it, though. Jesse Hatla, Joel Molina, Liz Garcia, Javier Hernandez, Jose Garcia, Luan, Marcelo Vargas, Patrick Lee, Lily Lee, Marco Trujillo, John Mason, Rosie Lagunas, Priscilla Land, Eduardo Mora, Jennifer Junk, Sable and Ruben Ote, Tina Rentas, Malwante Stewart, Brandon Cortez, Madden Sheena Sapala, Palan Chantel Price, Gregory Kisentar, Robert and Wanda Scott, Edward and Jaime Musgrove, Philip, Chris and Mary Phelps, Maya and Miguel Garcia, Flavio and Ivana Orozco, Hector and Anda Martinez, Pimbers, Victor Zaldo, Juan Lopez, Fernando McGray, Chris and Evan Richardson, Ali Rasak, Tony Martinez, Eddie Mora, and Wendy Juarez. Those are the names that we have. If I didn't call your name, but you did do 25 recruits last month, tell your MD, please send my email in. Because if we don't have your email, you don't get the invites. Having said that, before I get into the Great Equalizer, March Madness, and some of this other data here, let me recognize top performers last month. We had 26 people that did over 10 directs, 26 that did over 10 directs. Let me give you these names. Jose Patino, Yastam Obadi, Daniel Alexander, Andrew Sanchez, Gregory Kisentar, Anna Sandoval, Rochelle Miles, Vera Gales, Giovanni Hernandez, Eric Alvarenga, Eugene Foxworth, Xander McKinney-Taylor, Gabriel Tovar, Isaac Martinez, Edha Torres, Christopher Gonzalez, Almaraz. Great job, Almaraz. I'm so proud of those guys, man. Almaraz. Phenomenal job. Gaitan's got 11 direct. Phenomenal job, Gaitan's. Leobardo Martinez, 11. Here's a record, guys. Leo's the first one in the history of the company. Since the month he got recruited till today, he's never had a month less than 10 recruits. Leo, Clarissa, I am so proud of you guys. Phenomenal job. Let's do it again. Edward Musgrove, 13. By the way, in the MSM matchup, Edward Musgrove beat Mason in their March Madness matchup, FYI. Edward's coming up. He wants to make a name for himself as possible flag carrier of MSM, but we'll see. He's out of Memphis. Too early to pick that. Edward, that position's wide open. I messaged you back to tell you Maranchino Sapalo told me that earlier today, but we'll see how bad they want it. Now, Kevin Manuel Lopez, 14 personal recruits out of Gaitan's base. David Asantio had 15 personal recruits. Phenomenal job. Lisbeth Gutierrez out of Vargas's base shop, 17. Boris Marroquin, 19 out of Vargas's base shop. First place, Gladys Beltran Hernandez, 20 personal recruits, also out of Vargas's base shop. Hey, Gladys, phenomenal job, but I got a challenge for you. When I challenged Leo to do it again, he did. I'm so curious to see if you'll do 10 recruits or more again in the month of April. You do it, you'll gain so much respect nationally. I just want to see you do it again. Okay, so that's numbers right there. Base recruiting. Guys, we had 18 base shops that did 50 or more. I'll recognize the top 10. Kendi Thomas, 68. You have to do 68 to be in the top 10. Eatman's, 80. Ricky and Erica, 85. Sapala's, 88. Palayo, 95. Quanine, 106. Phenomenal job, Quanine. He came through. Almaraz, 111. Very proud of you. Very, very proud of you for doing 111 recruits in a single month. Del Toro's, 127. Vargas, 205. Gaitan record, 211. This is Vargas' second time doing over 200. Gaitan's happened to be the second person in the history of the company to do over 200 recruits. Only those people have done 200 recruits or more, but Gaitan owns the record. We'll see what happens in the month of May. Super base recruits, I'll give you top 10. Phelps number 10, Kendi number 9, Alejandro number 8, Cooper number 7, Palayo number 6, Cobos 5, Del Toro 4, Vargas 3, Sapalo 2, Gaitan was number 1. Again, that's the numbers on what it's looking like for Super Base for number 1. Gaitan took over the number 1 spot. Super Team Recruiting, number 10, Chris and Mary Phelps. Number 9, Alejandro. 8, Graziani. EIB is not used to being 8. By the way, on Super Base, Graziani was 13th. On Super Team, he's number 8. Cooper passed him up, 435. Liberation. Sapala, 449. Vargas, 470. Del Toro, 483. Cobos, 506. Palayo, 744. His best ever. But Gaitan, 844.5 recruits. Record in the company. Very proud of those guys. Okay, let me get into next category, personal production. Here we go. Top 10 personal producers. Number 10, Wendy Juarez. Number 9, Flor Marroquin. Number 8, Edward Musgrove. Number 7, Pedro Cardillo. Number 6, Sylvia and Jean Chapman. Number 5, Shannon Taylor. Number 4, Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas. Phenomenal job. Number 3, Hector Fernando Martinez. Number 2, Demetrius Van. And number 1, Jose and Marlene Gaitan. Pay attention, all these matchups. Jose and Marlene Gaitan did more than they did, both in base recruits and personal so far, and personal production so far. 3 categories. So March Madness, who's going to get Vargas against Gaitan? Numbers are craziness, right? Okay, now next, base shot production, top 10. Number 10, Phelps. Number 9, Ricky and Erica. Number 8, Eatman. 7, Pimber. 6, Palayo. 5, El Jeanette Williams, 100,000 points, 102,000 points. El Jeanette is on track for running a 1,000,000-point base shop. She's contributing towards the 20 Ferraris being given away. You remember the 20 Ferrari contest to be given away? The 20 Ferraris, if we have 20 million-point base shops that are going to be running, and we go to Italy to handpick your Ferraris, El Jeanette is helping out. How many of you guys that were at the 1,000,000-point base shop are also helping out doing 100,000 points or more? El Jeanette is one of them, and she was quiet, not saying anything. Jorge and Catalina Almaraz, 108, also helping out. Sapala's 113, also helping out as usual. You can always count on Sapala's. Consistent, always going to show up. Gaitan, number 2, 127,000 points. Vargas is number 1, 151,000 points. Again, number 1. Vargas has told me they'll be the first to be a 30% team, 40% team, 50% team, 60% team. They said, Pat, when we used to be part of Cindy's team, we were a 6% team. Then we became 10, 20, 30, 40. They're right now 90% of Cindy's business. They're planning on being the same thing for the entire company. And by the way, they're not slowing down because they're out personally developing everybody in the company. They are outworking everybody in the company. Now it's purely on strategize and how long they're going to last. Because if they last longer than you and they outwork you, it's going to be very, remember I told you people are going to get exploited? It's going to be very difficult to compete against them. Here's top 10 super base points. Number 10, Cobos. Number 9, Hindi. 8, Del Toro. 7, Palayo. 6, Phelps. 5, Cooper. 4, Gaitan. 3, Vargas. 2, Graziani. Number 1, Sapala. Let's look at top 10 super team points. Number 10, Phelps. Number 9, Donna Joe. 8, Del Toro. 7, Vargas. Vargas officially passed Del Toro and super team, Mario. Vargas passed Del Toro and super team points. Think about that. By the way, did Vargas also pass Del Toro and super team recruits? Let me check this out. Where are you at, Vargas? Vargas also, no, Vargas is not, no, not in the, actually this is app count. Vargas, did you pass? No, just by 13.5 more recruits Del Toro's did than Vargas. Vargas number 7 at super team. Jason is only, EIB, all of EIB. EIB used to be this big. Vargas was this small. Vargas is our 13,000 points away as a super team to pass up Jason and EIB. Think about that, where they say, we are, obviously, they make more money than Jason does. They have a much bigger base shop than Jason does consistently after promoting out a lot of MDs, and they were all talking smack, but Vargas has came back up as a base shop. Jason's base did, and Jason knows this, but Vargas are about to pass up super team as well as a hierarchy. Can you imagine that part? Sapalas are at 515. Cooper, 552,000 points. If Cooper had 2 more MDs, Cooper's an EVP. If Cooper had 4 more MDs, he's a president's counsel. But he doesn't have the MDs. Cooper, you promote the MDs, you get your promotions. Number 2, Gaitan, 648,000 points. Palayo, 675 in a single month. Those are the numbers. Congratulations. By the way, 9 people have already qualified for Havana. Ready? Ricky and Erica qualify for Havana. Eatmans qualify. Pimber, Palayo, El Janet and Benny, Almaraz, Sapala, Gaitan, Vargas, they have all qualified. Here's who's next that hasn't qualified yet. Phelps, Del Toro, Quanine, Vera, Mason, Valle, Del Valle, Graziani, Jamal, Castro, Kahindi, Cooper haven't qualified yet, but they're close. Next on the radar. Okay, let's look at licensing. Vargas is last month. You ready? 24 people got licensed in their base shop last month. 24. When they promoted 10 direct MDs, their associate count in their base shop was only 20. All their other MDs in that office saw that they only had 20 people coming to meetings. Then they took it to 40. Right now, they're at 70 different people coming to meetings. 70 different people coming to meetings in their base shops. And they still licensed 24 different people last month. Kahindi Thomas was second with 15. Kahindi, great job. Marvin Del Valle, 14. Phenomenal job, Marvin ND. Cobos, 10. Great job, Cobos, double digit. Palayo, 9. Phelps, 9. Gaitan, 8. Sapala, 8. Jamal, 7. Brittany, 7. Ricky and Erica, 7. Castro, Monique Welch, 7. Sisme Avelar, great job with 6. Eatman, 6. Clark, 6. Pimber, 6. Mason, 6. Del Toro, 6. Almaraz, 5. Last month's licensing percentage for us, for every recruit, 100 recruits, we're at 14.1% as a company in licensing. Record breaking. We're only 0.9% away from being 15%. Just 2 years ago, we were at 6%. 14.1% of our licensing recruits right now are getting licensed. That's because the licensing department, Tikran going on the road 50 times. And I know he told me he went to all these offices. Tikran was so blown away by Santa Ana, by the way. He went to visit Elvana. He was blown away by Elvana, you know, seeing what's going on over there with their fire. And then Donna and Sarai, he was talking to them, who's more fired up, who's excited. He was kind of giving me an update. He couldn't believe the fact that he went to Oak Brook's new office that's 12,000 square feet, 200 people. He says Bakersfield still has the biggest out of everybody, associate count currently right now. But he feels Oak Brook's coming up. Then obviously some of the other offices that he went to, he was saying, I went to this one office that only had 4 guests. I went to this other office that had more guests. So, by the way, all the offices, Tikran goes, he comes back and gives a report. So he tells me, this office I showed up, they only had 4 guests. This office I showed up, they had 42 guests. We're paying attention to those types of things because those are the things I'm looking at to who to work with. So those are the numbers I gave you on where we're at. Okay, so that's that. Goal licensing for the month of April will be 400. Our quarter will be 1,200. We will do 1 month of 500 licensed agents in a month of in the second quarter. And then outside of that, I'm going to come to this here to recognize these guys. Actually, I'm just going to do it right now. Dream Team. Here's a new Dream Team that was picked. Guys, this was the most difficult Dream Team because so many people were in the running to be on the Dream Team, but we only have 12 slots. Let me tell you who the captain is. Obviously, Vargas is captain. They're the captain of Dream Team. Again. Number 2, Sapalas. Okay, are on the starting 5, but they're second best on the Dream Team. Number 3, Gaitan came up. They were not on the Dream Team call a couple months ago. They got kicked out pretty hardcore Their base shop only did 16,000 points. They're on the Dream Team call. They got the 3rd spot. 4th spot on the Dream Team. Eatmans, phenomenal job. Consistently, every single month, they've been showing up. 5th spot, Palaio. Palaio's on the starting 5. That's the starting 5. Remember how I said on Train the Trainers on Friday night, someone's going to go to dinner with me with the starting 5? Those would be the 5 that would go. Everybody else on the Dream Team wouldn't go. Only the starting 5 would go because the dinner is going to be a couple $100 per person, just so you guys know. It's not going to be like a small little type of stuff that we're going to be ordering. Almaraz, number 6. So excited for Almaraz. Timber, 7. Del Toro, 8. Ricky and Erica, 9. Jason barely made it at 10th spot. Phelp, 11. Number 12, Quanine. That's the Dream Team today, by the way. Congrats to those of you guys that made it. Can't wait to next Tuesday's call. By the way, so many of you text me telling me, Pat, please tell me I'm on Dream Team. You have no idea how bad I want to be on Dream Team. I'm dying to be on the Dream Team. Please get me on the Dream Team. So many people are telling me. I love the fact that you want to. By the way, it's not called Max 7 anymore. It's called Dream Team. But these guys went above and beyond. April, anybody that fights for it, you're in the top 12 of golf score. May, you'll be not only on the Dream Team call, if you're in the starting 5, you're going to dinner with us. Couple things. Gadet out of Boston got his watch. Almaraz got his ring. Phenomenal job. Almaraz also got the rings. And MD out of Cindy Kobos' base shop. That's 50-50 to him and Palaio. Guy named Flash Gordon. This is not a joke. His real name is Flash Gordon. I told Mario thought I was pulling a prank. Flash Gordon, I've asked this question multiple times. We have a guy named Flash Gordon, marketing director, MD GroupMe. You're going to see Flash Gordon come up. This is a real guy that became an MD. And listen, if we're going to have anybody become an MD with a name Flash Gordon, we'll take you, Flash. I hope you perform and are as competitive as Flash Gordon, the character, is. But congratulations for you to finally get your licensing in and become a MD. We had a couple SMD promotions, which is pretty crazy. Elginette Williams. Oh, my gosh, out of Tallahassee. Can you imagine Elginette Williams by herself becomes an SMD team, and she is outperforming both of her uplines in production? By the way, she's doing more production than Kahindi and more production than Jason from January 1st coming out of Million Point Base Shop. Neither Jason nor Kahindi is outperforming Elginette Williams in the base shop category. Let me give you some data here. MD base points, first quarter, Elginette Williams is number 3. You ready? Jason Graziani is 10th place. Kahindi is number 18 in base shop. Elginette Williams, Senior Marketing Director, ring earner. Congratulations, Elginette and Benny. So proud, independently doing this all by themselves. Much respect from me to you. Send them some love about their SMD promotion. And then we have Eatmans, finally become SMD. Honestly, I was at the, where did we go, Mario? We went to a local, was it a chapel, or did we go to a, we met with a priest, and we went to a different kind of churches, and we literally, Mario called every single local pastor here, and they put them on a group me, and they said, you know, we ask of you locally to start a prayer group, you know, prayer line online. Every morning, Spring does her calls. We do our 6:30 prayer groups. And Mario, was it? It's optional as well. Curtis and Spring, we had them pray for you guys to become an SMD. While we're still here, congratulations for you to become an SMD. By the way, some tells me you ain't going to take that long to become an EMD or an SVP or an EVP. I actually think you guys can get a triple promotion as well during this run and become an SVP by the end of the run. But proud of those guys. SMD, kept your word. You went and got it done. Very proud of those guys. Next. Boom, boom. You ready? How crazy this is? We have another SVP, a new one, our 10th SVP in the entire company. Chris and Mary Phelp are officially a senior vice president team. Your picture's going on the wall. When everybody comes and gets a tour, they're going to see your picture on the wall. You're not out earning Cooper yet, but if you're out on Cooper, by that time, we're going to have to put Cooper behind you, and you're out earning your upline, and you'll move up. But your picture's going to be on the wall. Give them a lot of love. Send them a text. Send them a message. Chris and Mary Phelp, there's somebody I'm very, very excited about because they actually know how to build leaders. And they're building leaders without needing all the limelight. They're giving them all the credit, and they're tough, yet loving them. I'm excited for Chris and Mary Phelp. Very, very excited for you guys to become SVPs in the company. One of the leaders I am the most optimistic about in 2018. And an EVP promotion that they're probably watching the same Pat. It's not a big deal. We just said EVP. Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas just became an AVP just because they keep their head down and go get the job done. They became an EVP. Okay, they're about to become a President's Council, Chairman's Council in no time. Phenomenal job to them as well. Send them some love on getting those things knocked out of the way. Very excited for those guys. They are now an Executive Vice President team. I'd love to see Vargas has become a President's Council team by the convention here, by Train the Trainers. A lot of these promotions will be taking place at Train the Trainers, but I'd love to see some of you guys get your names on the wall as well. By the way, do you know who's the first person in the company to qualify for equity? Who wants to know? First person in the company to qualify for equity. Let me remind you how you qualify for equity this year. You ready? First category, base shop points. You do 500,000 points, 10 points. Million points, 20 points. $1.5 million point base shop, 40 points. 20 million point base shop, 80 points. That's one way to score points. Next, if 15 new people get a new check in your base shop, 10 points. If 25 people get checks in your base shop, 20 points. If 50 get it, 30, 40, 50, 100. Well, Vargas's have 15 new people in their base shop that got a check this year. 15 new people that got a check this year. They're the first ones to score. You know who's right behind them? Pimmers are at 14. Then it's Liz Garcia, Sapala's 11, Ricky and Erica 9, Richardson 8, Vic and Anna at 7, Almara 7, Del Toro 6, Mason 6, Palau 6, Ariano, Roger Rodriguez, Tony Martinez, all at 6. You need 15 people to get checks, new people to get checks in your base shop for you to score equity. Proud of Vargas's. Again, they did it last year first. They're doing it this year again first. Not waiting on anybody because they're setting the pace. They did it last year. They're doing it again this year without any hesitation on those numbers that they are putting up. By the way, most people licensed in a single month as a company record for Super Team. Palau broke it. 108 people got licensed in their hierarchy in a single month. At 108 people got licensed in a single month. We've never had anybody do a number like that. Great job, Palau, with that record. Mario, where are we at right now with being on track? Okay, following people got Great Equalizer Bonus program. Let me tell you who got the Great Equalizer Bonus. Here we go. The following names hit 2 levels up, which means you're an MD, you're 75%, okay? Then Great Equalizer, when you do 10 recruits, 25,000 points, you get an additional 10%. When you do 25 recruits, 50,000 points, you get 15%. When you do 50 recruits, 100,000 points is 25. You do 100 recruits, 200,000 points is 35. You do 150 recruits, 300,000 points, it's 45. But last month, we also said level up. Level up 1, meaning if in February you did 1025, if in March you do 2550, you'll level up. So not only you get your 15%, but we give you another 10%. But if you level up twice, we'll give you another 20%. 3 people hit level up twice, Mario. 3 people. Let me give you the names. Marvin and D. Del Valle leveled up twice. You know what that means? They got 15% because they did 2550, which means they're at 75% plus 15%. That's 90%. And they get 20 more percent. Marvin and D are going to get paid at 110% plus being an EMD. They're going to get paid at 113%. Marvin and D go place those businesses because that's going to be 113% contract, just so you know, okay? Next person that did level up twice. Ready? We had 3 names. I only have 1 here. Here's the other 2. David Vera. David and Sandra Vera leveled up twice. David, Sandra. I was looking at the numbers here. Man, I'm excited about it. You're a valuetainer, buddy. Leveled up twice. So that means David and Sandra are getting paid at 110% contract. David, that's what I'm talking about, baby. 110% contract. Next, Jorge and Catalina Almaraz. They not only leveled up twice, but they hit level 3 GEB, which means they got paid 75% plus 25, that's 100%. And they leveled up twice, which is 20%. Jorge and Catalina, am I saying it right? I am saying it right. Jorge and Catalina Almaraz, 120% is what they're going to get paid on the numbers they did last month, which means the 108,000 point base shop you did, you're going to make 108%, 120% on that. Override, if somebody's 60, you're making 60% override. If you wrote it personal, you're making 120% on that number that you wrote. Great job to them. The following names hit 1 level up. David Bryan, 1 level up. Edward Musgrove, 1 level up. Ricky and Erica, 1. Janae Traylor, 1. Jamal Mohammed, Joel Molina, John Mason, Gaitan, Jose Andino, and then we have Octavio Ariano, Ricardo Lopez, Roger Rodriguez Lopez, Tommy Clark, Wendy Juarez. Some of you guys who didn't hit it, oh, by the way, I'm sorry, Andrew and Jennifer Gaines, Ali Russack, Alfredo and Crystal, Chris Solis, Cindy Cobos are the ones who would level up. By the way, some of you guys are saying, I thought I had level up. Remember, you also need to get the checks in. Level 1 is 1 new person getting a check. Level 2 is 2. Level 3 is 5. Level 4 is 10. You get the idea what it goes to, right? These following people didn't level up or qualify for Great Equalizer because they didn't get anybody get a new check. I just want to recognize you as well because I think it's very important for the month of April that you help some new people get checks. Ready? Phelp, you didn't get it. You hit SVP, but no one in your base shop got new checks. Dina Esquivel, you would have gone Great Equalizer. Giovanna Nicholas, same. Kelroy Kohatsu, Len and Tasha Cooper. You guys would have gone additional 10%. It's pretty nice. Lorna Tracy, Marco Trujillo, Colmenares, Monique Welch, Paul Medrano, Sylvia and Jean Chapman, Wendy and Gregory Elliott. The only reason you didn't qualify for Great Equalizer last month is because you didn't get a new person check. And you needed to do that to get it. But everybody else who did, congratulations to you. Those who didn't, go work on it for next month. Now let me give you this follow on here. March Madness, insanity. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's insanity. Let me remind you what NIT, because I'm going to first go through NIT for you. First place, $2,500 shopping spree. Second place, 5 big event tickets, hotel paid for, and you get a brand new iPad Pro, the 9-inch one. It's the one that I have. Third place, you get 3 big event tickets, plus your hotel covered for you. Fourth place, you get Lego waffles. You know those limited edition Lego waffles? We'll send one to you for 4th place, right? This is NIT. Here's what it looks like, okay? Here's what it looks like. Sylvia and Jean Chapman against David Bryan, 174 to 123.5, which means first place was Sylvia and Jean. They're advancing. David Bryan, good effort, but you're out. Ricardo Lopez Nieves against Vic and Anna, 144 to 125. Ricardo Lopez is advancing, which means Sylvia and Jean Chapman from California are facing Ricardo Lopez Nieves out of Puerto Rico. And if they faced off, it'd be 174 to 144. So interesting to see how that matchup goes. Marvin and Del Valle against Giovanna and Nicholas Castillo, 346 to 214. Marvin and D are advancing. By the way, they scored the most points in the NIT bracket over anybody, which means right now they could potentially be the running, somebody to be the person that could win the entire thing. Michael Bryan against John Mason, the closest matchup. Michael Bryan advancing 262 to 246. Michael Bryan, great job. There was a lot of smack talking going back. Well, Michael Bryan on the last day sent a text. He says, hey, John was talking smack, Mike was talking smack. Then Mike said, I don't know what you're doing. I got 4 base recruits today, and I just wrote 8,000 points. What did you do today? Silence. Michael Bryan is advancing. By the way, John Mason, I want to tell you this. I want to say this to you guys about John Mason. I've never been this optimistic about John Mason as I am today. I think John Mason's face could go on the wall as one of our next SVPs coming up. Good effort. Now, John, let's just keep it going. Congratulations to all the people in Orlando for the new office. Donald Quanine against Cindy Cobos, 366 to 197.5. Again, Donald Quanine advances, obviously. However, I thought it was Marvin and D that scored the most. It's actually Quanine. Quanine did 366, Marvin and D 346. Can you imagine that being a championship round? Liz Garcia against Chris Solis, 184 to 216. Solis is advancing, which means Solis is facing Donald Quanine. Michael Bryan is facing Marvin and D. Marvin and D could beat Michael Bryan, even though Michael Bryan was ranked 4. Marvin and D ranked number 8. Richardson against Jamal Muhammad. Richardson 200, Jamal 257. Jamal is advancing, and he faces the wild card. Let me tell you who scored the most points for wild card. Ready? The following names scored over 250 points. Castro, Vera, Musgrove, Molina, and Wendy Juarez. But let me tell you who scored the most points. 5th place on that list, Wendy Juarez, 256. Good job. 4th place on that list, Anel and Javier Castro, 258. 3. It's between Vera, Musgrove, and Molina. Ready? Vera, 282. Now it's between Molina and Musgrove. You know who advances? By 14 points. Out of Memphis, Musgrove, you're advancing. Wild card winner. Joel made an effort. Vera put an effort. Musgrove out of Memphis is advancing to face off Jamal Muhammad. Let me put it to you this way. I'm super excited about the NIT matchups. Lots of bragging rights for those of you guys that are still in it. Lots of bragging rights when you walk into March Madness, when you walk into, what do you call it, convention, to see who does what. Mario, is this round 2 weeks or is this round, this round is 2 weeks, right? It's a 2-week round. Okay, so you have till the 15th of April. Remember, 15th of April, and then we're going the entire month, and then you're going into May for the entire championship round. So you got till the 15th of May is what you're doing. Now, March Madness. Let me talk about March Madness. First place winner, private jet. You take 10 of your associates with you. I think it's 10 of your, it's a 10 total, right? 10 total, you plus 8 more. I think it's some number like, whatever I said in the last videos. You land, 5 exotics, 3 Ferrari, 3 Lambos, 2 Ferraris. You get in the car, you go straight to the hotel. I think you get a bag as well or something like that. And you go to the hotel, and your hotel's going to be covered in a flippin' Lambo and Ferrari. And all the 5 people that go out of your base shop, they have to only be from your base shop, okay? Second place, $10,000 shopping spree. Third place, $5,000 shopping spree at Nordstrom's, both of them. Fourth place, again, very concerned about fourth place. Lego City plane set is what we're going to be getting you. So that's what's going to be right there, okay? So let me set this up. Here we go. Oh, my gosh. First match. I'm just going to do Gaetano Vargas last. I'll do that last. Lou and Ronda Pimber against Alejandro. Ready? 344 to 243. Lou and Ronda Pimber advancing. Alejandro, good luck next time. But this round, Pimbers beat you. Sapalas against Elginet and Benny. Elginet and Benny 343. Sapalas 498. Sapalas will be facing Pimbers. Elginet, phenomenal job because you would have beaten almost most of your competitors here, but you face Sapalas. Much respect to Elginet and Benny. Ali Rusek against Curtis Eatman. Ali's doing good, but you're not at Eatman's level yet. 434 to 163.5. Eatman's advancing. Almaraz against Del Toro. You ready? Almaraz against Del Toro. Del Toro's last year, January, I'm going to all the conferences. All I'm talking about is Del Toro, Del Toro, Del Toro, Del Toro. Triple promotion, triple promotion, triple promotion, triple promotion, triple promotion. And they come off that high. And then I prepared everybody at the Million Point Base shop saying, don't use the excuse of, oh, we promoted so many MDs and our base got smaller. That's why Vargas out-promoted you in direct MDs, and he scored the most points on a lot of people in this category. Why? Because they kept building a base shop. They didn't slow down. But Hector and Erica slowed down. Like, again, they've done this in the past before. And then they come back up in the second half. Almaraz 507, Del Toro's 462. Almaraz advances, Jorge and Catalina. The greatest upset in the history of PHP you just did right now. You know what Alexis told me 2 hours ago when she was right here? By the way, right now while we're shooting this video, we've been here since 7 o'clock. It's 10:21. We're still shooting this video, okay? You know what Alexis told me? He says, here's the one thing about Almaraz. Whatever business he submits, it all places. He doesn't submit phony business just to win a competition. You gain respect like that because all your peers just heard me say that about you, validated knowing you're not sending bogus business. The amount of respect you are gaining in the field right now, Jorge and Catalina, I can't even describe it. It reminds me of what Vargas's did when they came up the ropes and they respected everybody and they were quiet, but they just kept getting better and better and better. And all of a sudden everybody said, who are these guys? And then they out-earned Gaetan's, and then out-earned Del Toro's, and then they out-earned Pelayo, and then they out-earned Jason. They out-earned everybody. Only one person out-earned them. That was the Sapalas. But the quality kept coming up. Very proud of you. Del Toro's, you're out. Biggest upset in the history of PHP took place with a person who just got a triple promotion to a person that just came up as a new ring earner, but said, I want to beat these guys. And he did. Very proud of you, Jorge and Catalina. Ricky and Erica against Coulthers. Ricky and Erica 438, Coulthers 164. Ricky and Erica advancing. By the way, Jorge and Catalina at Almaraz would be facing Eatman's. Phenomenal matchup. Score would be 507 to 434. I'm so excited about that matchup to see what happens there. Erica and Ricky win. Jason Graziani faced George Palau. This has probably been the worst showing of Jason Graziani's base shop ever. He knows it. He said it, but this is public. We all know it. There just wasn't fire. Like, there was no start. There was no beginning. There was no closeout. It was just kind of like, it was almost as if, like, I don't think we can beat Pelayo. That was the kind of mindset that we saw with Jason Graziani. I've rarely seen that, but that was a mindset I saw. By the way, Jason's in a very good place. I'm very excited about where he's at. A lot of good things happening with his life. Jennifer had a chance to go and spend some time with he and Natalie and the ladies event that they put is phenomenal. But Jason Graziani is not a guy that puts up numbers where he's not even a top 15 base shop. That's just not him. And the dogfight didn't show up. And Palau's in his best he's ever been. And Palau showed up. Okay? And he wins, which means Palau faces Ricky and Erica. By the way, let me explain to you what the score would have been. Palau 469, Ricky and Erica 438. Would be a very good matchup. Palau beat Jason by 220 points. Jason was 249 to 469. Matter of fact, Jason did the 4th lowest scoring out of everybody in March Madness, 3 of which are all from EIB. One was Ali, 163. One was Coulter, 164. And it was Jason, 249. The other person was El Jeanette that did 343. But everybody's following the lead. If Jason's not competing, everybody else does the same. Kehinde Thomas against Phelps, 343 to 306. Kehinde advances. Phelps, you don't advance. Kehinde advances. Vargas is against Gaitan. It's all good. I'm going to keep going. We're next to Plains. This never stops. Vargas is against Gaitan. Listen, first of all, in the history of March Madness matchups, no one's ever scored more points. Ever. Total. Never. No one has ever scored more points. Both of them scored over 800 points. Both of them. Not 500, not 600, not 700. 800 points, both of them. By the way, everyone in the field says whoever wins this matchup wins the entire March Madness. Everybody in the March Madness right now is afraid of facing Vargas and is afraid of facing Gaitan, secretly. To the point where some people are like, there's no chance I'm winning this anyways. I'm just going to go out because I definitely don't want to be 4th place. Hint, you can think about some people. I'd much rather be out now because I definitely don't want Pat telling me about 4th place because I can't win the whole thing, right? Gaitan against Vargas, biggest dogfight of all time. Sapala said, Sheena said, congratulations to you guys because you raised the bar on competition. Personal recruits. Gaitan scored 44 points. Vargas scored 39 points. Personal points. Gaitan scored 102 points. Vargas scored 99 points. Base recruits. Gaitan scored 422 points. Vargas scored 410 points. So far, 3 categories. It's all Gaitan. Base recruits, that was it. Base points. Vargas is 282. Gaitan's 254. 1 category out of 4 so far. Base licensing. Did you hear how many licenses Vargas did? 24. Vargas get 120 points. Gaitan's got only 40 points. Out of the 5 brackets, 5 categories. Even though Gaitan's won 3, Vargas has crushed him in licensing. Vargas has advanced with 943 points to 862. Let me put it to you this way. First of all, Gaitan's, hats off to you. Hands down, Jose Martin. Hats off to you from me to you and from everybody else on the field. Everybody. Hats off to Gaitan. Vargas, let me put it to you this way. You are taking all the excuses away from everybody. Del Toros, we just promoted MDs. Our base shop is small. You did not make any of those excuses. You went up there and fought. This is why we are reading this book and why I kept talking about Vargas were the first ones who finished this book. They're setting the pace. Do you really want to compete with Vargas? Or in your mind, this is what you're saying. Look, I'm not trying to compete with Vargas. I'm just trying to compete with everybody else. If you said that, that's what you call separation. That's what separation means that I've been talking about for years. Vargas is wanting to separate, and they're showing it. Gaitans are trying to catch up on the base shop category, and they're doing a great job at it. But Vargas are saying, listen, Pat recommends a book, we're going to be the first to finish it. We're going to set the pace. First to equity, first to read the book, first to this, first to so many different, first to most checks, first to most people licensed, first to most recruits, first to all of it. It's first, even though they promoted 10 direct MDs. And I know this is tough to swallow, and I hope everybody in Conquistadors is listening, although some of you guys are probably lost because it's at 53 minutes right now, give or take. But whatever the timeline is, and you're watching this, respect to you, Vargas, because you are facing Kehinde, and you triple Kehinde's points. So now, here's my challenge to all of you guys who are no longer in. David Bryan, Vic and Anna, Castillo, Mason, all the wild card people, Richardson, Liz Garcia, Cobos, Gaitan, Phelps, Jason, Coulthard, Alejandro, El Jeanette and Benny, Ali Del Toro. You know what I'm curious about? Let me tell you what I'm curious about. All those guys advanced. Yes, they did. You didn't advance. Redemption is, if you say, even though I got my butt handed to me and I lost, watch how I'm going to perform the next 2 weeks. Because just because I lost doesn't mean I don't show up, because that's when you build a reputation that I only compete when I'm in the game. If there's no competition, I don't compete. You're not a business owner. I'm watching to see how you guys are going to perform, even though you're not in it anymore. Guys, this is sick. We got so many awesome ladies in the company. I don't think we'd be, obviously there's no way in the world because we have more ladies in the company than men. But I'm so excited about this poster. Cannot wait to see this poster being on the walls. Ladies brochure, Mario, the link is going to be below as well. By the way, in your offices, if you're a trainee, FA, associate, and in your office you don't have the Havana poster, ask, why do we not have the Havana poster? Why do we not have the equity poster? Why do we not have the ladies brochure poster? Put all of those posters in your wall, because everybody, including your guests, have to see all of those things that we got going on the walls. Make sure your offices are updated with posters. Mario, do I go to the last announcement?
Yes, do it.
Here it is, MDs. You're not going to believe this, but I'm going to do it again. You ready? April's going to be a sick month. Why is it going to be a sick month? Remember how we did last month, Level Up 1 and Level Up 2? Guess what? We're doing it again. Yes, we're doing it again in the month of April. If you level up March to April, 10 points, 20 points. Very simple. By the way, March was a warm-up for many of you. April's going to be crazy because it's the last month to qualify for Train the Trainers, which means whatever happened in March, April's going to be bonkers. And then we're going to go to trainers. We're going to come back trained like Navy SEAL soldiers to the point where industry is shivering. You know what they're afraid about? Here's what they're afraid about. I call you out. I put you on the hot seat. I challenge you. Friction, all this other stuff. And we have been so desensitized to the sensitivity of calling you out that no one is saying, oh, did you see what Pat said about him and all this other stuff? Because this company's been built on certain values and principles that we have all accepted now. You trust it because it's predictable. I trust it because I'm also predictable. And it's brought us to where we're at right now. We're mentally tough, we're emotionally tough, we're skin is thick, we're united. Our home office, this is something none of you guys know about. Last night there was a crash on our system because of all the policies that came in. We had 3,742 policies. Alice was here late. Lexus was here late. We're all here. We're on a conference call trying to get this thing set up to bring the system back up, and they're still here. They're up early in the morning here, processing all day. Alexis was still in the gym today, not making any excuses. We were still at the gym early this morning today, not making any excuses. You have the most insane home office team here right now that's supporting you. Anita told me she went to Houston. She couldn't believe the Houston office. They said they put her to work. She was sweating the entire time. Burbank couldn't believe Anita. People are in love with Anita on the annuity training that she's doing. Look, I had one goal, to put a dream team together. We have a dream team right now at the home office. We have a dream team right now in the field. A lot of new talent we're bringing on board. But this is what I'll tell you guys. There are certain times where a team, a company is building an organization that becomes a dynasty, where people write about in books, where Harvard does case studies about, where PBS does documentaries about, where history books do documentaries about. You know the History Channel, they do a documentary about us, where you and I, we go to the movie theater, we sit there and we watch the movie. At our convention, we have Kevin Hart. $1 million to pay Kevin Hart. He made $69 million last year. Do you know what things we're getting ready to do as a company? And this guy never lived in a house his entire life until his late 20s, and now I'm living in a 15,000 square foot house. Every day my kids use the elevator as if it's not even a big deal. Can you imagine if your kids grow up thinking elevator is not a big deal in the house? It's expected. There's a gym here. There's, you know, men's stall you go into, you don't sit down. There's every bathroom in our house has those stalls. I mean, I'm walking around the house saying, Pat, this is really happening. Why? Because I trust principles. Out-improve, outlast, out-strategize, outwork. It's proven. It is proven. This is why I believe we're going to recruit 10,000 people, 20,000 people, 30,000 people, 50,000 people. We will have 100,000 people in a convention. You will speak. Blimps above you. Jets, military fighter jets flying over you. Your face is going to be on a blimp. You'll be screaming and saying, hello, 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 hello. My name is Jorge, 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 Jorge. And to my left is my wife. Catalina. As you can see, our organization, Zation. Standing here to the right. Wow. That jacks me up. Oh. Whoa, jacks me up. And it's 10:30 at night. I don't even drink coffee. Everybody here at the home office knows it. This game is my coffee. I don't do Red Bull, I don't do coffee, I don't do any of that stuff. I am high on life. Are you? Get in the game. Get in the game. Get in the game. It's addicting. One shot, we went through this whole thing. When something special happens, you don't need to act it. It's real. It's happening. We're getting lucky. Crazy, weird stuff is happening to the company right now. And it's going to happen to you as well. Anyways, with that being said, March Madness, remember, NIT, April 15th is your cutoff, okay? Then from there, it's April 30th, and then we're out training the trainers. Reunite all of us together. Put our hands together, we get tighter, we get stronger, everybody talk, get better. Boom! Come back in May, then we go to Greece, then we have a strong summer, then we're with Kevin Hart in August, then we finish off the year. I wish I could ask you right now what you're thinking about, because I want to know what you're thinking about right now, especially for those of you guys that made it. Most of you guys are not going to watch the whole thing. Probably 20% of you guys are here right now. I want to know what you're thinking about. I want to know what you're feeling right now. It's exciting, ain't it? I know the feeling. See you on the Leaders Bulletin. Cannot wait to see every single one of your dreams become a reality. Your dreams. Can't wait for every single one of them become a reality. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.